One group, 4 teams, 2 spots guaranteed. But here's what ESPN won't tell you. In the new 48-team World Cup format, even the third-place team has a real shot at the knockouts. And in Group E, that third-place scramble between Ecuador and Ivory Coast. That is where your fantasy bracket lives or dies. I'm going to break down every scenario, every tiebreaker trigger, and give you the exact probability map for who advances and who goes home. Stay until the 6-minute mark because the Ecuador-Ivory Coast model will genuinely surprise you. First, let's talk about why Group E is more unpredictable than you think. This isn't the old 32-team World Cup. FIFA's new 48-team format means 12 groups of 4. Top 2 from each group automatically advance. That's 24 spots. But then, the top 8 third-place finishers across all 12 groups also advance. That's 32 teams in the round of 32. So, in a tight group like this, coming in third is not eliminated. It might actually get you through. That changes everything about how Germany, Ecuador, and Ivory Coast should approach their final group game. Before we go deeper, if you're running a bracket pool, a watch party, or just want to track every single group scenario visually with leaderboard of your predictions, I built a printable World Cup watch party kit available right now on the link in the description. It's got a 48-team bracket matrix, a tournament tracker, and a tiebreaker cheat sheet. Exactly what I'm about to explain, but printable for your party. Link below. Now, back to Group E. Germany. FIFA rank 9, 4 World Cup titles. And the most interesting storyline entering this tournament. Julian Nagelsmann is just 38 years old, making him the youngest ever Germany head coach at a World Cup. He's got Florian Wirtz, the Liverpool attacking midfielder who's been one of Europe's most exciting players. Joshua Kimmich wears the captain's armband for the first time at a World Cup. And Manuel Neuer, 40 years old, still starting in goal. Germany beat Finland 4-0 and the United States 2-1 in pre-tournament warm-ups. They are hitting form at exactly the right time. Their opening game against Curaçao today in Houston. Mathematically, this should be a comfortable win. But here's the interesting part. Germany's goal difference in this group could be the tiebreaker that matters. They should be running up the score here, not just winning. Now here's where Group E gets genuinely unpredictable. Ecuador versus Ivory Coast. This is the actual group stage drama. Ecuador are ranked 23rd globally, making their 5th World Cup appearance. Their best ever result was the round of 16 in 2006. But in this expanded format, making the round of 32 is very achievable. Ivory Coast, ranked 42nd. This is their first World Cup since 2014. They have players like Sebastian Haller, back after beating cancer in 2022, which makes him one of the most compelling human stories in this tournament. Their issue: Ecuador's defensive record in CONMEBOL qualifying was elite tier. This match, which kicks off tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in Philadelphia, is essentially a 6-point battle. Whoever wins this controls their own destiny for the second qualifying spot. All right, here's the bracket probability map everyone running a pool needs. I've modeled out the 3 most likely Group E outcomes. Scenario A: Germany wins the group with 7 points. Ecuador finishes second. This happens if Ecuador beats Ivory Coast today, then draws or beats Curaçao in Game 2. Scenario B: the chaos scenario. Ivory Coast beats Ecuador tonight. Germany beats Ivory Coast on June 20th, setting up a final match day where 3 teams could finish on equal points. In that scenario, goal difference becomes the deciding factor, and that's why Germany running up the score against Curaçao today actually matters for the group. Scenario C: Curaçao shock scenario. They hold Germany to a narrow loss today, creating a mathematical path to third place with a win against Ivory Coast on June 25th. Small probability, but in the new format, a strong third place gets you through. One more thing before the final verdict. You need to know about Curaçao, an island nation of 156,000 people. To put that in perspective, you could fit their entire population inside MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where the World Cup final will be played on July 19th, and still have 25,000 empty seats. They are the smallest nation by population to ever qualify for a World Cup. They went unbeaten through CONCACAF qualifying under manager Dick Advocaat. Their captain is Leandro Bacuna, and his brother Juninho Bacuna is also on the squad. That is a brother duo on the World Cup stage for the first time in a very long time. This team has zero pressure and infinite narrative. The U.S. audience loves an underdog story. And this is it. Final verdict: Germany advances from Group E. That's the safe bet at 96% probability. The real story is that second spot, which comes down to tonight's Ivory Coast versus Ecuador result. If you're building your bracket right now, pick Ecuador second. Their defensive record and World Cup experience edge gives them the probability advantage. If Ivory Coast wins tonight, reevaluate on June 20th. And if you want a printable tracker to follow every scenario, I've got the full group tracker kit in the description. Watch parties, office pools, family brackets. It's all in there. Drop your Group E prediction in the comments, subscribe for the next group breakdown, and I'll see you on the other side of Match Day 1.